All right, boys and girls, welcome aboard for The Brothers Hack the Matrix. I am your host, Joe's Atmosphere, and of course, I'm always joined by There Can Be Only One, the Highlander. What's up, man? How's it going? LSU.
Ho, ho, ho.
Now I have a machine gun called the Tigers. Ho, ho, ho. What's up?
Right?
Yes.
How's it going, man?
Now you, of
Look,
course.
Russell Wilson in that lead up, he looks high as I don't know what, dude.
Russell Wilson.
Number 3 on the countdown.
Yeah. He looks high.
He looks
Is that what you're saying?
high. Yes, absolutely he does.
Really?
He's like,
well, he was playing for Seattle at the time, and he didn't, and he has moved to Denver. Both places are known to be weed resources of the United States. So,
look,
you know,
he looks like
hey,
he's imbibing. You know what I mean? So,
it
how
could
are
be,
you doing,
I don't
man?
know. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Dude, Dallas, Texas does not like me, man. It's wearing me down. You can hear my sinuses are all jacked up. My lungs are.
Are you done with
yeah,
your Christmas shopping, Santa?
Yes, done with Christmas shopping. No booze tonight for the kid because of obvious reasons, but
that's
yes,
okay.
we will endeavor
to persevere. I will do the
have
imbibing
water
for you, sir.
Tink.
There you
Water,
go.
agua, H2O. High quality H2O.
High quality H2O before I play that foosball. All right. What the people really want to know is what axe you're carrying tonight, bro.
This is the vintage single cut with the dual humbuckers. The V100. This is the what they call a T-burst edition. It's got some nice flamage on there, man.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see there. But yeah, it's a rock machine. So there's no weight relief on this one, so it's really heavy sounding. I dig it. So yeah, kick ass.
Very cool. Well, Tim's the first guy in tonight, and we've got a few other people watching. Welcome to you guys on X and on Rumble. Hope you're having a good Christmas season. Let's see. He says 1 skin,
so
2
skin,
3 skin, 4 skin. Yikes. He's losing his mind, Tim is. All right, boys and girls. We're not going to have a new producer till the new year, so I guess we have to put up with the old man tonight.
What do we got? What do we got?
And you know what we got? We got
what do we got?
Girls, you know what we got.
Let's get into it. Let's just get into the nonsense.
You want to get into the nonsense? Okay. Well,
nonsense.
You know what? This is the Christmas show, so we need to go ahead and get into the nonsense so we get out of it.
Eject! Fire on the flight deck.
This business will get out of control. It'll get out of control and we'll be lucky to live through it.
Yeah, man. You know, as usual, the first thing we got to talk about is the Ukraine. What's going on in Ukraine? Russia-Ukraine war at a glance. Oh, I hate that number right there. What we know a 666. Yikes, ugly number. Why'd that have to be today? By the way, this is our 60th episode. I've been misnumbering them. I went back and checked it today and renumbered everything. We're at 60 episodes. Ukrainian military moving to defensive positions. UK's MOD, I don't know what the hell that stands for, says Russian tax revenue from oil exports slashed by 32%. Wow. Okay. Yeah, it's still going on, guys. So say your prayers for those folks over there.
MOD, I guess that's going to be Ministry of Defense, maybe.
Ministry of Defense.
Look, they're in. It's wintertime over there, and they say they're pretty much at a stalemate. There's not a whole lot of movement. Ukraine was supposed to have some kind of, offensive going on, but it's all stalled over there, and yeah, it's just a mess. Bad news.
Your nephew by marriage is on. David Burrows. What's up?
David
Burrows.
David Donkey. David Burrow.
Gonna get you on that TV, he says. Yeah. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. But yeah, we could hope for a Christmas miracle, and they end that shit over there. That would be nice if they did that. But the one we need to worry about as a country a little bit more right now is what's going on over there in the Middle Eastern part of the world. Freed Israeli hostages warns soldiers not to go into Hamas tunnels. It's a colossal danger. Hamas has built an approximately 300-mile subterranean system that snakes beneath civilian homes, schools, and hospitals in the urban areas of the Gaza Strip. That's not surprising at all.
Can these released hostages, since they know that they're saying how bad it is in these tunnels, can they not point these people in some kind of direction where these hostages may be held?
Maybe not. Dan. When they take hostages, they usually blindfold them right away before they even move them.
Well,
they may not know where they're at.
Describing these tunnels. I don't know. I don't even think they're in the country myself.
Yeah,
so.
But anyway, that's what's going on with
that.
But
there.
Here's the part that worries me: these Houthi rebels in Yemen attacking in the what is that? The Strait of Hormuz? Is that what it's known as? Can't remember. U.S. scrambles to respond to Red Sea attacks.
Yeah.
Hell, this article right here says that the U.S. weighs military options after massive Houthi drone attack. The destroyer USS Carney downed a total of 14 drones just Saturday morning. And and U.S. troops are warned of imminent attack. Apparently, these guys, these Houthi rebels, are backed by the Iranians apparently, and they're giving them support. They're giving them drones.
Well, yeah, and then they're attacking the commercial shipping lanes, and it's a mess. So there you go. We got a lot of warring going on in a couple different fronts, and we're spread thin, and the world is it's kind of burning right now because we don't have any strong leadership across the globe. So everybody and their brother is trying to make a name for themselves. So.
David, we will be talking about that guy later on. That's David's favorite subject. The guy that didn't kill himself, Dan. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
Definitely. Most deaf.
But anyway, yeah. Say a prayer for those guys over there with Christmas coming. Hopefully they'll cease and desist all that. David says the IEDs we saw in Iraq couldn't have been more Iranian if they had been had a made in Iran stamp on them. Good Lord, dude. Yeah, I imagine so. All right, let's see. Next up, we got at least 13 dead and 178 injured after a massive fuel depot explosion in Guinea's capital.
Say what?
And what's bad about this, Dan? I read this article. And this part is the part that really freaked me out. Let me see. Where is it? Hang on a second.
One.
Okay, here it is. Authorities said an investigation has started to reveal what caused the explosion at the depot that supplies most of the fuel in Guinea. The depot had been in the process of being relocated to a remote site in a bid to avoid such a disaster. It was in the middle of being moved when this happened. It's the biggest oil storing facility, and you see it went up like crazy, and it killed and injured a whole lot more. So say your prayers for those folks in Guinea.
Yeah, I mean, when you have these kinds of manufacturing and refinery kind of accidents, you first have to wonder about. I know in the United States we have to jump through every hoop, every regulation. We're regulated to the teeth as far as safety and quality and things of that nature.
And OSHA can come in there anytime they want.
Exactly. In some of these other countries, you don't have that same. I've seen Chinese crews come in and set up, equipment for us, and they don't follow safety guidelines. They could care less.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, you immediately think about what kind of safety structure do they have? And I'm sure it's not like it is here, so
Yeah.
it can be very volatile. And they lost their lives over there. It's a real shame. So
Yeah, you've got to. When I was working in manufacturing, I know I was a safety guy at the plant, and I used to do the orientation safety briefing for folks when they came in. The new folks. How you have like a. I know with Libya it took a week. We sat them down in a classroom for a week and trained them
right
there
right
about the plant itself before they even started learning their
sure
jobs.
sure
And I told them all. I said, "Look, if you get hit by a fork truck here, it's your fault." I said, "You better keep your head on a swivel.
yeah
You have got to pay attention when you're walking around in here because you're not on the street. These,
absolutely.
Yeah, they're
That's
supposed to be
funny you
watching
do that
out for
because
you.
I give a safety briefing every day in our
Yeah,
morning meeting. So I
yeah.
mean, safety is
But I'm sure you tell
it's
them
a
the same
personal
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to understand and
Mhm,
know your environment, man. Keep your
mhm.
head up and yeah,
Yeah, don't
know
be
your
fucking
surroundings.
around.
So
I told them all. I was like, and even today, Dan, Rhonda will walk in front of cars when we're out shopping. I walk around the back of them. I don't even give them the opportunity to hit me. You know what I mean?
no, I mean, yeah, really gotta
But
because a lot of
that's
times
what
they're not
happens when you
watching.
work in a manufacturing environment. You're used to that shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's see. And he David says the beard is looking good there, Uncle. Yep. Yeah. Let's see.
this is my time to
Situational
grow,
awareness will
man.
save your life. Every drill sergeant ever says that. Yep. Yeah, they do.
hmm hmm
Well, in Danny's hometown of Texas, in that state, Governor Abbott is making waves nationwide in a few ways. This article right here says Governor Abbott signs border bill that makes entering Texas illegally a state crime. Basically, that his state law enforcement can arrest these people and put them in jail.
That's a shame because we already have federal laws that say that it's illegal to
Right.
enter this country like that, and he's just reinforcing with the state rights, and he's trying to
Mhm.
put barriers up, and he's busing these people to these sanctuary cities. He's putting them on planes. I mean,
I love it. If they want to be
yeah,
sanctuary cities, guess what? You're gonna get them because they're coming.
it's like it's easy to say that from afar, but when you're have these people in your communities, right? Here they are. What are you going to do with them? You
Right.
know, and a lot
Mhm.
of them come across there with. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them come across with good values, but
Yeah.
it only takes a 1% of bad values to really pollute the waters. So
Yeah.
if we're
Mhm.
not vetting, then well, here you go.
Yeah. Well, I think this glut of people coming across the border masks a lot of the border problems. I mean, we know that that's the main place where fentanyl comes into the country. We know
Yep,
that, and
yep,
so I mean, yeah, you're right. Most of these people are coming looking for a better life, but
sure, sure,
uh, but man, look, they're under assault down there on your state, though. Arizona,
absolutely.
New Mexico. I mean, it's crazy. How
Any
many people are
state
coming
that
across?
borders the Gulf is
Mhm.
under assault.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
So, and then what do you say to the people that went through every hoop and stayed in line and year after year and finally got their citizenship legally?
That's what David's
They
speaking
don't,
to here. He says, "I will. I welcome all in our country. Just please come in the door, not the window." Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, the
That.
people that did it legally don't have the same benefits and
Mhm.
programs available to them as people that are coming in illegally.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
all about buying votes, anyways. What it's all about.
Yeah, that's why they're contesting this with Abbott. And that's why he's having to push back, making it illegal in the state so he can do something about it. Yeah, it's a bad scrape, man. It's a bad scrape. I'm
It's
one
a
of those
bad scrape for
guys.
the United States.
It
It
is,
is.
and I'm one of those guys. I don't agree with everything he's ever said, but Michael Savage always preached borders, language, culture, and I think if you're going to
hmm
have a country, you
hmm
should have a culture. There's a language you speak,
Yep.
and yeah, I could learn some Spanish to help ease things along, but they need to assimilate and learn English. I mean, if you're coming here, we speak English, right? I mean,
We have a
it's that kind of
common
thing.
language, at least out in
Mhm.
the business world and things
Yeah.
of that nature. We have to have a common language so we can
Mhm.
function as a society. You go
Yep.
home, you want to speak Farsi, rock on. But when you
Yeah.
come out to the school, you come to the hospital, you come to a place of business, you got to be able to speak English.
Hmm.
Why is that so bad now?
Yeah.
I don't know when
Uh,
that became bad.
yeah.
So,
Right. And then the last one we got on top of the heap tonight, with Trump's 14th Amendment case, law and the 2024 election are poised to collide at the Supreme Court of the United States. Also, we have here another headline: what the Colorado ruling means for Trump's campaign. Um, I can't remember which state. I heard about it earlier today on the news, but uh, I think their state knocked. Somebody tried to do the same thing with a ballot in another state, and their state Supreme Court knocked it down. They said no,
mm,
that's not legal. But yeah, this is going all the way to the Supreme Court. It's going to be interesting to see what they have to say about it. The whole thing, they're basing it on the 14th Amendment, and the 14th Amendment says that you cannot run for president if you were part of an insurrection, is what it says. Basically, I'm just paraphrasing here, and that you know. Uh, if they had proof that he was part of the planning of an insurrection, they would have already legally prosecuted him on that, and they haven't. So it's going to be kind of hard for them to state that as the case. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting. And we've got more on this later on in another section. I just didn't think we needed to stay on it too long, but it's more
mhm.
of what we've been talking about. Looks like they're doing everything they can to keep him off the ballot in as many places as they can. He's facing, I think, 4 different lawsuits right now. The Georgia one being the biggest, but I think he's still going to stuff in New York. The New York prosecutor's still on him about something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we've been covering all of it. And
Well,
yeah,
yeah. So the end
the
game is
end game,
to make
yeah,
it him not be able to run, and that's what the end game is. So,
mm-hmm, yeah, it's and that's sad. It really is, man. I really hate the fact that they're doing everything they can to divide people. It just sucks, you know.
yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do this week, it being Christmas, at the end of each segment, we're going to say what we'd like to on our Christmas list of Santa for that segment. And for me personally, I just like the conflict in the Ukraine to end right now. I'd like Santa Claus, if you can do anything about that, please just send somebody in there and get that smoothed out, and let's quit lobbing rockets at each other over there and shit and messing up everybody's lives. What do you
Yeah,
say, Dan?
I'll
Top of
definitely
the hoop?
jump on the back of that. Let's peace on earth, goodwill towards men.
That's it.
Can't we get some of that action? Because this whole rip each other apart at every level, at every turn is just, well, it's just not good for any country, any nation, any globe. So peace on earth, goodwill towards men, man. Let's try. Give peace a chance.
Give peace a chance. Can't we all just get along? Can't we do that? You know who can't get along,
Free
Dan?
South Africa, you dumb son of a
You
bitch.
dumb son of a bitch. I mean, come on. But you blick.
You're black.
Too funny, man.
That's
That's
just funny, man.
Lethal Weapon 2, by the way,
Yeah.
if you guys don't know. Anyway, the boss is yelling at me again.
What do we got? What do we got?
Well, you know what we got. We got these guys that can't get along there.
The straps with the jocks out.
That's it. The big time athletes, man.
Oh
What is
man,
it?
just
What is it with them?
finely tuned athletes.
Finely tuned athletes.
This guy's jumper is just off the chain.
He is ripping it a new one, man.
Look
He
at
is
my guy,
ripping it.
man, with the pump fakes and everything, and then the guy catches the football right in the kisser, dude.
Right?
That's awesome. That clip is in Jake Cutler.
It is the
of course.
best, bro.
Very
It is
cool.
the best. You know it is. Well, tonight, you boys may be in trouble, I think.
They're
We
in
got the
trouble every time they
Saints.
step on the field.
We got the
So
Saints heading into Los Angeles, play them
they're on
Rams,
the
who are
road.
the resurgent Rams. I think they've only lost one game in the last month, and that was a squeaker. They came one punt return away from beating the Ravens in overtime. So yeah. But the
I
Saints can
fully
beat them. It just
expect
depends on which team shows up,
I
man.
fully expect the Saints to go out there and lay a steamer.
Do
That's
you?
what's going to happen. Yeah.
Well, the Storm and Mormon's healthy again. He played last game, so hey, that's a
Storm
good
and
thing.
Moore. Yeah, he had what fantasy points? He had 4.1, integral part of the offense.
Oh, come on.
They still have not figured out how to run an offense. All the bits and pieces that they have, they still have no identity on the football field
But you know what?
offensively.
They were all over Tommy DeVito, and they were giving him one of these, bro. I'm telling you, every time they sacked
Well,
him, they were
that's the
giving him
only
this.
way they're going to be able to win is defensively. If the defense can play a good game, get some turnovers, maybe a pick six, maybe they'll have a chance. But if it's solely on the offensive side of the ball to get that victory, no.
Yeah. Let's see. Das Wolfen's in. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you, John. He says, "Hail all. I am in a webinar, but it is going over things I know. Oh, I picked the Rams tonight. I got you, bro. Just about everybody is. I think my brother even picked them, and he's a
I
Saints
picked the
fan.
Rams. Yep.
Yeah, the Saints will get destroyed, E. Clay says. But
I picked the Saints.
hey,
I picked the
it's
Rams.
all right. Hey, everybody picks the Rams. That just ups the chances the Saints will pull it off, man. That's the way this season's gone. We got many more stories from the NFL, though. Report Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes breaks silence on receiving massive punishment from the NFL.
Massive.
Yeah.
Come on.
He got fined 50, I think 50,000.
That's massive for him. I mean, he's pulling down like
he got
a
fined
gajillion
50,000.
dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's massive.
It's massive. I honestly don't even know how that process works. I think it's they asked if he was going to appeal it.
What?
He said, I think it's the first time I've ever been fined, but I know mentally I am just going to move on and play. Now that the game's over and I have an extra day, I'll figure out how that process goes. So, yeah, that's what's up with that. But like we talked about last week, I think we saw the beginnings of it in last weekend's game. Yeah, this is the time that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid start figuring it out and they start busting ass. So yeah, you guys, you better not be half stepping playing the Chiefs this month. They're fixing to go on that run, right?
Well, you know what? They came across something. It wasn't the rookie wide receiver that they have out in the pattern. He had a really good game for them, and Mahomes started looking for him more and more. He had a really good game. So Tony is what he is. He's just wow. You might want to just take him off the field because he's
right. Kadarius, man,
he's real bad.
How much does he have to fuck up for you to get him off the field? That's what I'm wondering. Because
how bad are the guys behind him that this guy's still on the field?
Right? So. Good Lord, dude, it's ridiculous. All right,
but the rookie had a good game. The Belichick defense took away Kelsey, so the rookie had a good game, and they won. I mean, if the Patriots had any kind of quarterback, that game could have totally gone a different way, but that wasn't the way. And I think you're going to see the Chiefs just find ways to win games, and they'll be in the hunt. So,
absolutely.
That number one seed over there in the AFC is still up for play. So, could still go through Arrowhead.
Okay, so now, did you get a chance to see this piece of footage here? Steelers safety DeMonte Kazee suspended for the rest of the season for a hit.
I saw the hit.
Receiver.
I saw the hit.
Saw it?
I saw that.
Now, the only thing that concerns me is his head was down, and from playing, you had a tendency to do this, and it cost you your football career.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like the way he went in there, but it didn't seem like he was headhunting or anything. But I mean, these things are so bang bang. I'm going to go ahead and play it so you guys can see it. But
Well, I will say this. Okay, they are bang bang, but he's got his head down.
yeah, he does have his head down. You
And
can see it in
immediately
the
when I
picture
saw
right
this
there.
hit, I
Yeah,
thought of Darryl Stingley because it was the same kind of hit. And my
right.
concern was this guy was paralyzed, but he got up and walked away from it, which was amazing. But
Amazing because it was a big hit. Hang on, I've got to switch
and
my
what's his
resources
name?
here.
The quarterback put that wide receiver in a bad position.
Bad position. Yeah, see, that's the
He
thing
really
I
did.
hate when the quarterback ends up doing it. That's the part I don't like.
Because that receiver is going to go for the ball.
Yeah, he's gonna go. It's just human nature. He's gonna do it.
Yep.
Anyway, this was the play, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll let you see it at full speed. He was immediately flagged.
Oh yeah.
I'll let you see it again. It's pretty quick. But you see in that picture, that his head is definitely down. He's
Well, it's
leading
totally
with his
down.
shoulder, but his head is down. You need to have your head up and see what you're hitting.
Well,
but-
if they show it in slow motion, he ducks his head. He's not seeing what he's hitting,
No. Mm-mm.
and that guy's lucky to walk away from that because
Yeah, because his shoulder
luckily the wide
buried his
receiver's
helmet.
head.
Yeah.
Well, the wide receiver's head was up, so
Yeah. That may be the only thing that saved him, dude. You know what I mean? Oof. That's bad. But anyway, do you think that warranted missing the rest of the season?
no.
See,
No.
I could see a game suspension maybe, but
You see those hits every game. Every game. How many times do you see a tight end catch a ball in the flat and turn, and some corner or safety comes up and chops his legs down, head down,
yeah.
hit him right around the knees?
Mm-hmm.
They don't bring their arms anymore. It's about the shoulder and just they get low. You see that hit all the time. I don't think he should have been suspended for the year at all. A fine.
Mm-hmm.
Game check maybe, but because you got to get that out, you got to get those hits out of the game.
Yep.
And because let's face it, we're not in the 1950s anymore. They're not
No.
going to allow that kind of hit anymore. They're
No.
not allowing horse collars. They're not allowing a neck collar tackle. They're not allowing the forearm shiver to the face. They're not allowing that shit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not teaching proper tackling techniques. They don't do two-a-days. They don't do tackling drills. And you see that on the field. You see so many guys get into the flat
they
and
look
just
like they're
bounce
trying to
off
get
of
on
guys
ESPN.
because they're not trying to bring their arms. They're trying to hit them with the shoulder.
And the really good players, the ones that we talk about all the time, the ones whose names come up all the time, they do. You know, and you see it when they play.
The idea is tackle football, meaning get the guy to the ground.
Yeah.
It's not make a highlight reel how heavy the hit is.
Right.
It's about tackle football.
Yeah, get him.
Ray Lewis always brought his arms.
Yeah, he
Big
did.
Buckus always brought his
He
arms.
might have hit somebody hard, but you know what?
Yeah.
He was wrapping that sumbitch too,
Great
and they were going
form
down.
tackles, dude. Great form tackles. Yeah.
All right, let's go down a notch. We got news about Jaden Daniels' intentions. He is not going to play in LSU's bowl game.
Yep.
Looks like you're going to
Not
go
surprising.
What's
surprising.
yeah, we talked about
Garrett
this.
Nussmeier will be starting for us.
Right. And
against
you guys have
Wisconsin
got
Badgers.
Wisconsin. The Wisconsin Badgers. Yeah.
The Badgers.
The Badgers of Wisconsin.
Nussmeier is the classic big arm quarterback.
Big arm pocket quarterback, right? Yeah.
And he's got a little bit of mobility, but he's not going to be as dynamic, and he's got a huge arm. He can get the ball down the field for sure. It's some of these intermediate passes that he struggles with, kind of like a Cam Newton kind of thing. If you have to drop it into a zone and zone coverage, he struggles.
Yeah.
But if you want to put your guy on the fly pattern, he'll overthrow him every time. So big arm, but I don't know. They went after a quarterback in the portal, so it's still up in the other whether he's got the starting position next year. He'll start for the bowl game though.
Yeah, he'll start for the bowl game because he knows the system, but he may not start next year. I'm sure they're going to try and pick up somebody. But the story is Jaden Daniels going into the draft. All this can do is hurt him. So they're going to. At worst it will hurt him. He'll get injured. That's the
Well,
and he's avoiding that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't blame him for
No.
wanting to protect his wallet, which is what he's
Sure.
doing. So, yeah,
Sure.
there you
That
go.
is a business decision. And look, college football, and make no mistake, it is a business for real, top to bottom now.
Hmm.
Some of these guys that could go to the pros, um, they make more with the portal and the NIL deals, I think it's called, more than they would get as a rookie contract. So
Yep.
they stay
Yep.
in, they get paid.
They play
It's
as
a
long
business.
as they can.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
The only reason why he's going in is he's done. His eligibility's done.
Yeah, he's
Right?
done.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
can't come back another
I
year.
get
He's
what you're
going pro.
saying, Clay. Yeah. That's that is a factor. But dude, now that they've thrown money in the deal,
Players should be required to play in the bowl games. It's
yep.
like spitting in the face of your teammates that got you there. No,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
none of those teammates are gonna be upset with him at all.
Yeah.
He's a 5-year starter. He's given everything he's given to the LSU Tigers. Played hurt, everything.
Yep.
Those guys are wishing him well, and I guarantee you, to a man, they didn't expect him to play in that bowl game, and that's how that goes. I mean,
The game has
college
changed.
football is what it
College,
is. Yeah,
it has
that's
changed.
semi-pro football is what it is.
That's what
Call
it
it
is.
what it is.
That's what it
Yep.
is. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, seems logical to me. Okay. Speaking of that semi-pro nature of it, we've even got a high school story here. 5-star quarterback DJ Lagway announces commitment decision amid swirling rumors. He's going to play for the Florida Gators. That's where he's going to go. This guy's a 5-star recruit. I definitely sent. Let's see. Let's see. Signing with Florida. Looking forward to playing under head coach Billy Napier. I definitely sent it in. I just can't wait to be a Gator. I can't wait to be coached by Coach Billy Napier. So I'm excited, he said. So that's the top quarterback at the high school level. That's where he wants to go.
Don't be surprised if he flips that. It happens all the time.
Happens all the time. This is just
they commit to a university, and then at the last minute, boom, they get a better deal. Right. They go to a different university. So
yeah. Okay. So next up, now you sent me this one. Washington Wizards and Capitals I moved to Virginia. What is this all about, Dan? They're going to get out of the district?
Well, yeah, because the crime rate is up, murder rate is up, robbery rate is up, carjackings are up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they're trying to get out of that the district.
Ambitious $2 billion arena project spurs controversy. Interesting. All right, so they may have a new home a little bit farther south, huh, Dan?
Sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Let's see what's next.
Do you remember
here.
what the Washington Wizards original name was? Do you remember what that original name was?
Bullets, wasn't it?
The Washington Bullets.
Yeah, the Bullets.
And then I think it was
Let
the
freedom ring, cacao.
In the 1990s, when the crime rate, and it still is in the D.C. area, is out of control.
Right.
They decided to change the name to the Wizards to try to get away from the Bullets moniker.
The Bullets
right?
thing, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Totally understandable. They got some bad news in the annals of college basketball this week. Eric Montrose, national basketball champion.
I remember him.
North Carolina Tar Heels, dies at 52.
52 years old. I remember he was on a Carolina team that actually put the Duke team out of the playoffs one year. And Montrose was he was a tough, no nonsense center, man. He was public enemy number one. But he was tough, and he was part. I think they won the national title. Yeah, they did, 1993. But 52, that's way too young. Golly.
Yeah, it is.
It's too bad.
Diagnosed with cancer in March. Cancer got him. Yep, that's what I was looking for in the article. Yep, Eric Montrose. I seem to remember him in that championship run too.
Yeah, he was. Christian Laettner did not like him because Montrose was physical, man. Yeah, made things very tough.
And I got this one today. Apparently, as my brother puts it, Jim Harbaugh has pissed off the wrong person because apparently the Michigan Wolverines, Jim Harbaugh, presented with a new NCAA allegation notice second NCAA investigation this year.
They are out to get him. He said something about somebody's mom. He grabbed somebody's wife. He did something to somebody.
Says
way
here
up the chain.
that the Wolverines were given an allegation notice from the NCAA that will investigate potential recruiting violations that occurred during COVID recruiting dead period. Two university officials said to ESPN. Wow.
Can you imagine if they went through with every one of these big name universities and programs with a fine tooth comb? Do you know how much stuff they would find on everybody?
Yeah.
You've really got to do something to get yourself on the radar.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're all doing it.
Right. E-Clay says the guy has 9 lives. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. You know, I was questioning whether or not he was going to stay at Michigan. I mean, you know, there's a couple of pretty sweet jobs in the NFL next year. So,
bro, Michigan Wolverines head coach.
Yeah, he's got whatever he wants there, right?
Hell yeah.
I mean, as far as the Big 10 goes, or Big 12, whatever they call themselves
in college football, Michigan Wolverines still, that program is still one of the jewels. So,
yeah,
and he's the head coach.
Yeah,
he's doing fine.
Yeah,
he's doing fine. They garner huge contracts now. These head coaches for these
they do
programs.
Big time,
big money,
big time.
Jimbo Fisher just got bought out, and he was making bank crazy with
huge
A&M.
bank, and they just said, "Here's $70 million. Walk, will you? Let's see you later.
We'll do something else, right?
We're gonna do something else." Let's see. The Patriots will need a new head coach. He says, "Yeah, I hear you, John. I hear you, John. Didn't we have this discussion? You are the modern day Patriots. They'll be talking too much smack about the Patriots. You'll be back down there one day." He's a Chiefs fan, man. I'm always messing with him.
Oh, absolutely.
He now realizes what it is to be the top dog now. Everybody hates him, and he's starting to realize that, you know.
Look, Belichick is like 72. I wouldn't be surprised this is his last year anyway. So he's got nothing else to prove.
We're done with our articles in the jockstrap. What is on your Christmas list for sports this year? What do you want from Santa Claus in sports this year? Same thing you always
National
want?
Titles all the way around.
for
Gymnastics,
every LSU team?
softball, basketball, football, lacrosse, badminton, everything. Luge. Everything you like.
Everything. Let's see. The Chiefs are one Philly cheesesteak away from losing their head coach. No way, dude. No way. Let's see. David says, I want my team to quit choking in the postseason. Of course, he's a big Cowboys fan, so, you know. Let's hope they can do that, man. Let's hope they can do that. Me personally, when it comes to sports, I really want to see more of what we had this season in the NFL, man. Parity. Look at how many fucking teams are glutted at the 7-6 level, dude. No. Games at the last week of the season, games are going to matter, man. It's going to be awesome. I want to see more
I like
parity,
to have that dominant team that every other team aspires to be, but just there's no way. I love to have that dominant team. I love it.
Well,
I don't like mediocre, watered down football. 7-6, 6-6, 6-7. We all got a chance. We all fuck that. Let's have some good teams.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about stories like Drew Lock Monday night. That was awesome. Jake Browning with the Bengals stepping off the bench for them and playing great. Dude, whatever. Whatever, boy. Whatever.
Drew Lock gets to shine because there's so much mediocre football. That's how he gets to shine.
You need to ask Santa for a damn new head coach is what you need to do in New Orleans.
I've been asking for that forever. That moron. You watch how we get embarrassed tonight.
The 49ers are the dominant team this year. He says, yeah, that's for sure. Drew Lock
they are.
From Mizzou. Really? He played at Mizzou? I did not know that.
Yes, I told you that. He had a great career in Mizzou. Man. Great career. All right. That guy.
This guy, man, we can't have a little fun. He's got to yell at me. We got to get another.
What do we got?
You know what we got? We got the flicks, boys and girls. We got the flicks.
The flicks.
We got Luke Skywalker getting his hand cut off.
Getting
Fluke Starbucker getting disarmed.
Getting getting the nose picker cut off.
We got
You
the
got
Americans and the Russians
golden
beat
diaper.
each other to
There it
death
is.
in the squared circle.
Golden diaper.
Oh, the golden diaper, yeah. And we got Bruce
Old
Willis'
man.
dirty ass
Old
clothes
man.
with no shoes.
That
Old
was a
man.
white shirt too. Now it's
What?
black as hell.
And it's black as hell, buddy. In
What
the movie.
happened?
That's right, dude. All right, first one we got today in the movies. Of course, we got to go over the box office numbers. Of course, no surprise, Wonka was the top movie last week. Did you guys go see it or
No?
no? Didn't go see it. You didn't go to the movies this weekend? I find that hard to believe, bro.
No.
Okay.
I'm telling you, my lungs and all have just really bbeen dragging the last couple of weeks. Really.
I hear you, brother. I hear you. You ain't gone for that
Hunger
prednisone
Games.
shot, dude? You ain't gone for that prednisone shot?
Yeah.
No.
Not yet.
Yeah, Hunger Games is, dude, it's the perennial number 2. It's going every time. The Boy and the Huron is number 3. Now that is made by a prolific anime maker. It's an anime movie, and they're saying it may be his last film, and a lot of people are going to see that. But look at the numbers. You got that 40 million for Wonka, and then you got 5 million, 5 million, 5 million. And Godzilla -1 chimes in with another 5 million.
Look at them all. 37 down, 57% down, 41%.
Yeah. Yep. But here's the deal. Godzilla has made more money in the U.S. than it's made in Japan. And it's a Japanese movie. Wow. That's amazing. And then Trolls Band of Brothers is the last in at number 5. So, but as you can see by these numbers, everybody is waiting for the holidays to go to the movies, I think, because it's not really big. You know what I mean? These are not big numbers for Hollywood. They really aren't. People aren't going to the movies right now.
It's not good movies. I mean,
no, they're not.
Put a fucking good movie out there to watch. People will go see it, you know?
If you build it, they will come. Yes.
Look at Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. How long was that on the radio? It was
we
making
talked about that
double-digit
forever.
millions. Yeah. The entire time. Yep.
Put out a good movie, man. Stop preaching to us and put out something that's entertaining.
Right.
That's what people want to go there. They want to forget about life and go be entertained. What's wrong with that?
We had a death in the rock and roll family this week. Oops, hit the wrong button. We had a death in the rock and roll family this week. AC/DC's original drummer Colin Burgess died at the age of 77. It was announced this week on social media.
Yeah, I don't think he was with the band too long before they replaced him for, reasons.
He was the
I think
OG
it was alcohol
drummer?
Related. Yeah, he was the original drummer.
Mm-hmm. 77 years old. Yeah.
God bless. 77. He lived pretty long.
That's a long life. If he was a drunk, like we're hearing, he must have turned it around at some point, because most drunks don't live that long.
Right.
And the big story this week in the flicks is Jonathan Majors was found guilty of harassment and assault in his case, his criminal case, and promptly Marvel and Disney dropped the actor Jonathan Majors after his conviction of assaulting his girlfriend. Not only
about a guy that had the world in front of him
by the balls, had the world by the balls, and by all accounts, this was one of those toxic relationships like a Johnny Depp and Amber Heard kind of thing. But he did the one thing when you're a guy you can't do. He whacked her, and
you can't do that.
Yeah, can't do that.
Do it.
And the most damning thing for me, I've seen some of the videos of stuff, and he tried to avoid her. He tried to control this chick. She's obviously crazy. But I did hear some audio where he was saying, "I'm an important person. It definitely a narcissist, and very incriminating, dude. It's just, man, wow." But it wasn't just his Kang role he lost. There's a movie called, let me see, it's down here, Magazine Dreams, that it's going to be distributed by, it got high acclaim at one of the film festivals recently, and it's going to be distributed by Disney. And the minute he got convicted, they dropped the movie.
They dropped him. Look, they live in that bubble. They got their sycophants all around them, telling them how great they are, and they believe that. I mean, that's just human nature. If you're told that enough for a long enough period of time, you
Right.
think you're untouchable until you do something like that, and then everybody's going to drop you like a hot potato. They don't want to be associated with you at all. So,
Yep. Yep. Sure. I mean, I don't
what
want to
is?
see
I heard
anybody
he got a
lose.
year. Is that right? I don't know.
His lawyer's saying he's probably not going to do any jail time.
He won't.
They're going to appeal it and all this good stuff. You know how that goes. They're nowhere near done with
Hollywood
that.
will take him back eventually.
Yeah, right. But not
Because
right
Hollywood
now.
is full of freaking perverts and racists and narcissists and misogynistic bastards. They'll take him back. You want to talk about the most hypocritical industry? That's Hollywood.
Yep,
It
that's
is.
for sure.
They'll
And
take him back.
this last one we got. Hang on a second. Let me check the chat real quick. John says Godzilla -1 is a great movie. I'm sure it is. I can't wait to see it, man.
I'd like to see it myself. I should
Never
go see
got
that in the
into
theater. I bet
kaiju
you that's
flicks. David
one.
says. Now, David, let me tell you what they're saying about this Godzilla movie. They're saying that if you took Godzilla out of it, you'd still have a great post-apocalyptic Japan story because it takes place right after World War II, after the bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So let's see. Das Wolfen says he should have just shit on the bed, no slap her around. He is not Sean Connery. He can't get away with that. Right? Because you remember Bond used to smack women around all the time in the movies, man.
He used to do that in his personal life, though. Sean Connery did.
Right.
He was very vocal about that. He was asked about that very thing like years later, and he's like, yeah, I'll say the same thing.
Right. Okay. Now, this one right here, if you're a Harry Potter fan, they teased you this week. Harry Potter fans excited as Harry Potter and the Cursed Child teaser fuels hopes for a 2024 film release. Now, I'm going to go ahead and that's why I switched over to this screen so I could show it to you guys real quick. This is the teaser that they showed.
Dad, what if I am put in Slytherin?
Memory is everything. Without it, we are blind.
Awful things happen to wizards who meddle with time, Harry.
Interesting. Don't know what that is, but I do know that HBO is developing a show that's gonna. I think they're supposed to take each one of the books and make an entire season out of it.
And burn them in a barrel? Is that what they're going to do? Awesome.
Dude. You know how big this franchise is, man. They friggin' people love Harry Potter. I'm not a fan myself, but my daughter loves that shit. I know probably your son and your daughter love it too.
Yeah, all three of them grew up. They had to have this next book, and I was buying Harry Potter books all over the place.
Yep,
I tried to watch Harry Potter 1, I was like, no.
Yep. I hear you. I watched the first one. That was about all I needed. But, hey, every generation's got its, Star Wars or it's Lord of the Rings. And this one, our kids was Harry Potter. They were into that shit, man.
Harry Pothead. Yeah.
Harry Pothead. That's it. Yeah. And he who shall not be named.
That sounds like a better title to me.
Okay. So what do you want from Santa when it comes to music, movies, basically the flicks category? What do you want?
Okay, music. I would like two things: new Black Label album, new Dario Lorena solo album. He's my teacher, my music teacher.
Gotcha.
And 3, I would like to see a freaking kick-ass Incredible Hulk movie. That would be awesome. That would be great.
Planet Hulk, huh? Planet Hulk would be badass.
Where you'd actually see the Hulk for what he is,
Right. They destroy
and
our
why
world.
The Avengers only broke the glass in case of emergency when they brought the Hulk in.
That's right, because you can't control him.
He
You can
laid
only
waste
hope to
to
contain
everything.
him. You can only hope to contain him. That's it. That's
my wish. What's your wish?
My wish is that Dune Part 2 knocks it out of the park, dude. I can't wait to see it. second part of that. Go ahead and puke all you want, dude. I love Dune, so kiss my ass. Love it. Let's see. David says he wants
spice must flow.
the spice must flow, bro. Okay, don't forget it. David says I want the Stargate franchise to return in earnest. Yeah, that sounds cool, dude. See, what's funny about Stargate though? There are a whole bunch of fans. Did you ever watch the TV show, Daniel?
That's a negative. I saw the movie
Okay.
though. The
I never
original- the
watched
first
it,
one.
but I
thought it was
love
good.
that movie with Kurt Russell's. That is
Yeah.
one of my favorites. I mean, leave it to a retired Air Force colonel to friggin' start a revolution on another planet, man. I love it, dude. It was awesome. Loved it. Okay. All right, boss. Dude, look, you're not going to be my boss, but for like 2 more weeks, you pain in the ass.
What do we got?
You know what we got?
Producer. That's just all there is to it.
We got the earthquakes, man. We get the stuff that globally messes things up,
honestly,
man.
This lady
really,
still.
what is she doing?
Come on.
What is she hoping to achieve?
And what are these buildings made out of, man?
It's
like
cardboard, obviously.
paper mache? They just crumble. There's no support underneath that
The
highway.
road is falling
all.
apart, man.
I
That's
mean,
got to
just-
be a 10.0 right there.
There's
It's got to
no
be.
support at all. Who built that road, man?
Right? Well, the first story we've got tonight, I'm sure you guys heard about it. If you're people that go to church or anything like that, especially in the Catholic faith, the Pope approves blessing of same-sex couples that must not resemble marriage. Now, he qualified this by saying that it was civil unions that they said they'd give their blessings to. They can't be called marriages. So
They can't be called marriages.
Yes, he's maintaining that marriage is between a man and a woman, but if they want their blessing on a civil union, that they can do that. So that's
Look, that's another pope trying to morph the Catholic faith into something that's chewy and acceptable to the masses.
Well,
so
you know,
they
we
can
did that story about the
keep that money flowing.
The
spice must flow.
Yes, the spice must flow, goon. We did that story a couple weeks ago about the Archdiocese of Tyler, Texas, is pretty pissed off about them taking away their conservative archbishop there.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get a little bit more liberal in the church these days.
Changing with the times.
So, yep.
That's what a good business does.
Wow, it's amazing you say that, man. You know what I'm seeing going through my head right now, right? Godfather 3 is going through my head.
Godfather 3. Biggest money-making organization in the world is the Catholic faith, man.
The
Catholicism.
They
got their own city, right? Dude. Gee whiz.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Don't mess with the nut, man.
All right. Next one we got. Gunman opens fire in Prague. Hang on just a second. This thing. Okay. Prague University killing 14 Czech people in Czech Republic. Worst mass shooting in that country. This just came in today. I don't know much about it. This was at a university in Prague.
Yep. A lot of people killed. A lot of people injured.
Yep. 14 people dead. 25 were injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't know much about this guy.
That just shows you that it's not just the United States that has this going on. I mean,
You want more proof? It's not the United States, just the United States, boys and girls. Check it out. 11 killed in mass shooting at Christmas party in Mexico.
Yeah.
When they were asked who they were, they started shooting. That's crazy, man. 11 people killed and more than a dozen were wounded early Sunday at a pre-Christmas party in central Mexico.
Pre-Christmas party. Let's kill a bunch of folks at pre-Christmas
That's
party.
Crazy, man. Why? What did that guy say in Armageddon? Who brings a gun to a Christmas party? What are you doing with a gun at a Christmas party?
What are you doing with a gun in space?
What are you doing with a gun in space? That's it, man.
Yeah, we don't value each other anymore, and that's across the board. I mean, why not shoot a bunch of people? Why not? Right? Yeah, we don't do that.
David, you're going to be interested in this one. Germany to permanently deploy troops for the first time since World War II.
Yep.
A new agreement between Poland and Lithuania will lead to the German troops' first permanent foreign deployment since World War II. 4,800 permanently stationed German soldiers. It's going to be in
Yeah,
Lithuania.
they're not fucking around with the Russians now. That they know that the Russians will start agitating their borders, and Germany's jumping in there. They're a NATO country.
I said David because David served in Germany, and he knows all about the politics of that. Yeah.
The UK is going to be pressured into putting some. Look, if this is a NATO countries, we need to be supporting the NATO countries, and we're going to be called upon to send troops over there as well. So you're going to have troops, supporting an effort in Ukraine. We're going to have troops supporting an effort in NATO countries. We're going to have troops in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. And there was talk of draft, here in this country. So, more and more efforts, more and more support. If you don't have the troops, they're going to come get them. So,
yeah, you will be conscripted if you, whether you like it or not. That's what Russia was doing when they started this war with the Ukraine. Yeah. I mean, we did a story. It wasn't even a year in, about fighting age men trying to get across the border out of the country.
Trying to get out. They're grabbing people from the prisons and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And our enlistment numbers are down here in the United States.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a big push for enlistment lately. I don't know if you've noticed, but just about every friggin' thing you watch these days has got an Army ad on it or some military service. But this story, big one this week, judge orders release of names of more than 150 people mentioned in Jeffrey Epstein lawsuit documents. The names include those of sex abuse victims, litigation witnesses, and Epstein's employees, and even some people with only passing connections to the scandal. So we're actually going to find out some of these names. Now, what do you not see listed there? The clients.
Yeah.
You're just going to see the mechanism itself. But it's a start. It's a start. We can get some names finally.
You'll never get to the top people that were doing the actual abuse and that were the driving force behind this whole effort. You're never going to see those names. Yep. Never.
No. I can't remember who I was watching earlier today. They said there was a guy. He was a representative, and he said, unfortunately, every time I try to bring up why aren't we doing this or why aren't we doing that, and it's specifically about two things: the Epstein case and UFO sightings and stuff like that. And every time he tries to do something to try and get it exposed, he said, unfortunately, my colleagues don't want to do it. They think it's a third rail. They don't want to touch it. And I have to get that guy's name. It was on a video I was watching. Jimmy Dore. If you guys don't watch Jimmy Dore, he's a comedian, but he does political humor, and he does better investigating than some of these reporters do. And that's where I saw it at. He had the interview footage. I can't remember the guy's name, but that's what he said. He said his colleagues, he said it's almost like they got something on them. They just don't want to be anywhere near it, And it's like, well, like you said earlier, it's a hotbed for indecency and craziness. Yep.
Yeah.
I still wonder how
power corrupts, man.
Yeah.
That's
right.
all.
Yep. That's for sure. Okay.
That's the human nature,
we could drop that one. We don't need that one. Do you want to watch Alec Baldwin act an ass again?
Murderer,
no doubt. But he was cited at a pro-Palestinian rally, and the people that were for the Palestinians were getting on his ass, asking him why he was there. Check this out.
The murderer.
He's sitting there saying, I'm trying to talk in private over here.
Guys in Georgia, you already got your mind made up with a big question you got, right?
Oh, I asked you a question.
I'm in Hollywood.
Is that your answer? Is that your answer?
You ask stupid questions.
Do you condemn?
Ask me
You
a
just
smart
know one.
question.
Give me a break.
He can't help himself, man. He cannot do it.
Well, look, man. I mean, he puts himself in that position. He knows he's going to get baited. And, yeah.
Yeah, right?
This guy desperately wants Baldwin to hit him so then he can get a civil
Obviously.
suit going on.
Yeah, he's being provoked. There's no doubt about it. No doubt. But man,
I love these people that hide behind these phones, man. And,
what is he even
talk
down
all
there
that
for?
shit?
That's what I'm wondering.
Maybe he lives there. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to go to dinner. Who the fuck knows, you know?
Yeah, right. It's on the street. Federal judge blocks California law that would ban carrying firearms in most public places. Wow, a federal judge in California blocks a California law? That's amazing, because they usually let California do whatever they want, don't they? Wow.
Well, it's state rights, right? So that you know, look, for better or worse, I don't like the idea of a federal judge dictating state law.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bigger thing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You like them or not, California is a state.
Yeah,
they have
state rights.
If you want to live in California and you want to live under those crazy laws that they push, then that's their right.
Yeah.
To have a federal judge come in here and block a California law that would ban carrying firearms in the most public, that's overreach from where I'm sitting.
Yeah.
States' rights. If you don't like it, fucking go to a different state. You don't have to stay there.
Right. That's fact. No doubt about that. And Das Wolfen says, shall not be infringed, period. Yeah. Well, you know, hey. Danny makes a good point. If the state doesn't want them, then, you know, hey, but
that's it. If
they're part of the United States, and it's an amendment, Dan. It's an amendment.
It's an amendment, but if the state and their people in that state say, let's get rid of the guns in the public setting, that's the state rights.
Yeah.
Now, do you want a king?
No. Don't want a king.
No.
No.
You don't have to agree. I don't agree with it. I think we should be able to bear arms wherever we want, but in that state, if that's what they want and that's what the people vote on, that's their state right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Where do you want the government the federal government to intercede, and where do you not want them to intercede? You can't have it both ways.
No,
you can't say, I want my state rights, get the federal government out of my state and out of my decision making, but then, oh, you got to have guns and no, you have to have it one way or the other. Freedom of speech. You want it or you don't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Freedom of speech is an ugly thing sometimes, but it is what it is.
Yep. That's fact.
People just want it to fit their agenda, man. That's what people want. You know, that's not how it works. It's not.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next one. Malaysian Airlines shocker as fisherman comes forward with surprising revelation about missing MH370 plane. This was the plane that went down in 2014 with 227 passengers aboard, and they never found it. This guy found a piece of the plane and turned it in and said that they weren't even interested in it.
Yeah, trying to
very
put that
weird.
Shit behind them.
Yeah, very weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
very
that whole situation was very strange. How that plane went down, and
yep,
it would be surprising if they didn't want to revisit that, because there was a lot of unanswered questions surrounding that thing.
Yep,
a lot of unanswered questions.
Absolutely. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah, you sent me this one. 2.5 million Honda cars recalled over stalling risk. See the list. Oh, boy.
Yeah, Honda's,
What?
They're Acura. I mean, but if you go through that article, there's other ones that have been, you know, going on for recall for the fuel or a battery cable that may cause ignition
A
and
fire?
fire
Ooh.
during an accident situation. But they have several different models that they're having to recall. Well, you got them right there: Accord, Civic, CRV, the Acura. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Honda,
Yeah.
but because Honda's traditionally they make a good vehicle, but
Yeah, they do.
that's a lot of shit getting recalled.
Yeah, it is. But
That's
go check
obviously a
that out.
manufacturing defect, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. Check out the list. It's all over the internet. Go check it out and see if your car's on it. Looks like a lot of 2018 to 2020 models is what it looks
yeah,
like. So yeah,
fuel
definitely go
pump
check
and
that out
battery
if you own one
cable.
of those.
Yeah,
Let's see what else we got here.
public
Vivek
service announcement.
Ramaswamy. Oh yeah, I dug I dug this one. And this, of course, it's political race season, but it's interesting
Sure.
to see Vivek Ramaswamy says he will withdraw from the Colorado primary ballot after Trump got disqualified. He's sticking with his brother in business, Donald Trump, and he's going to
What
back out of the
consolidated?
race.
We rarely, if ever, hear everything that goes on in these courtroom proceedings and what actually happened. And these guys have a lot more information about what goes on. Ramaswamy's an interesting guy.
You said you're reading his book and you're about halfway
Yeah, yeah, halfway through it, and I have to say that there's nothing in there that I've read so far that I don't agree with. Um, the title of his book is "A Nation of Victims," and he talks about what that means.
through.
And you would look around, and we've got victims all around us. It just depends on what race and culture and age and ethnicity and gender, and we got all kinds of victims running around in our country now. So it's an interesting read. I'm sure there's some solidarity there with Trump, and we'll see how it goes.
Being
But,
political
he pulled.
outsiders. Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
They're both political outsiders.
He's posturing as well. I'm sure that he gains points with the Trump backers, and maybe he grabs some votes there. So
this guy's
good
savvy,
move.
man. He is savvy. You got to give him that. The only thing, he's really young, and
Sure.
his.
So was JFK.
If you've watched,
So was Barack Obama.
absolutely, and known to rub people the wrong way, no doubt. He has a tendency to do that, but I haven't heard a lot that I disagree with him. He's doing pretty well. We want to finish up earthquakes with a positive story here. Top U.S. and Chinese military officials speak amid warming ties. Discussion includes communication, avoiding miscalculations. Biden and Xi meeting credited with restoring military contacts.
This is all good things for on the global stage. If these two countries can get together and just come to some kind of understanding, with it, there's not so much saber rattling, and there's actual open dialogue, communication. That's good for the globe. It really is. So, it's a good sign.
Well, if there's two symbiotic friggin' economies on the planet, it's China and the United States. And they need us just as much as we need them. So I think that's what you're seeing here. But yeah, that's good to hear. That's really good to hear. But I'm sorry, don't trust them as far as you can throw them.
No.
But when we finish the earthquakes, what would you like to see on your list for Santa? What would you like to see when it comes to the earthquakes?
Well, as far as that goes, that last story that we just read, I'd like us to continue down that path and come to some kind of sense of normalcy and some kind of sense of levelness. So there's not so much hostility, because it's a much better world to live in when those two superpowers are not threatening each other. So maybe that can translate to talks about Taiwan, because that's always a hot button thing, that Taiwan, that little bitty piece of land. So maybe we can come to some kind of understanding.
Dragon Rooster saying the only understanding is China gets Taiwan and we get Cuba. Well, I wish people would stop shooting each other. That's what I'd like to see. But hey, I don't think I'm ever going to see that. But you know, I don't want anybody to take my gun away. But I'd rather you guys weren't shooting each other either. I wish I didn't need a gun. You know what I'm saying? I wish I didn't have to protect my house. You know what I mean? But that's for sure. Okay, so boys and girls, it is come time for the newest segment of our show, started by my bro. He always has good ideas, and it's time for our best and brightest. Oh my God. I love it. That's too great.
I'm telling you, man, that is. Yeah, I mean, there you go. That encapsulates all the
take it
wackadoos
from a soldier. David says no one wins. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yep.
Except arms dealers. Clay Thomas says, yeah, absolutely. First up on Best and Brightest tonight, we've got top NAACP official comes under fire after leaked video captures her saying migrants are like savages. And I'm pretty sure
she did some.
It cost her a job, I think.
They want her to step down, and she did a lot of apologizing, a lot of backpedaling there, and there's a lot of people calling for her resignation. I think she was.
I think she was suspended, is what it was.
I think she was suspended. Yeah. She had a lot of. Well, look. A lot of the illegals are getting sent up to the Chicagoland area and other sanctuary cities, and they don't follow the same laws as we are, and they're bringing their belief systems, and some people are not very nice people, and they're seeing some things firsthand there, and she had a lot of not very flattering things to say about the people that are living in our community now, and it's the hypocrisy here is it's the NAACP.
Can't have it both ways.
NAACP, right? So so she backpedaled and she got suspended, and but she's a leader and in a position of power to represent the people.
The poor and trodden down peoples.
Poor and trodden down peoples.
Speaking of them,
and she smashed them, dude.
Yeah, she did. Rudy Giuliani files for bankruptcy days after being ordered to pay $140 million in defamation case.
This guy over here.
He's one of our best and brightest. Yes.
Yeah, he couldn't keep his mouth shut.
This is the guy that saw New York through 9/11.
Yeah. Well, all that credibility is gone, and he's out there running his mouth. He's not listening to his attorneys. He's filed for bankruptcy, but that doesn't take him off the hook. He's still got to pay that $148.
Yes.
What it does is, whoever else he owes money to, like bill collectors, things like, they're going to have to go hang now.
Yep.
They're going to get bent over, but that $148 is around his neck till he pays it off.
And he's still got litigation against him coming too.
Sure.
But this is the case, the defamation case against the two election workers in Georgia. Is what that was about.
There you go.
And that's defamation. You just said it. Running your mouth.
Running your mouth. Too big for your britches. They get so powerful and they get drunk on the power and they can feel like they're above the law, right? The old terms. You're not, man. I mean, there you go.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. And then the last one we got here in Best and Brightest, Hunter Biden accused of sneaking into the White House. Hunter Biden has to sneak into the White House. That's how bad it is for him these days. His dad doesn't even want to claim him. The president
doesn't even want to claim him, dude.
Was accused of sneaking into the White House.
Please disperse. Nothing to see here. Please disperse. Nothing to see here. Please.
There you go.
Yeah, man. It says Fox News White House correspondent Peter Ducey spotted Hunter getting off
El Duce
getting off his father's helicopter on Tuesday, even though he was not included among the guests that were accompanying the president back from Delaware.
That's the people's helicopter, by the way. Marine
Yeah, it is the people's helicopter.
One.
It says here,
Yeah.
Ducey
Try to
says
sneak his
the
ass onto
White
the
House
property.
may not have helped that may not have helped the president is keeping far away from Hunter's local woes. Unbelievable, man. They don't even want to claim him on the helicopter riding back from Delaware, dude.
Look, the Bidens can't help it, man. They just can't help it. I mean,
we're killing David over there.
This is what it is. What are you gonna do?
And that, boys and girls, is this week's segment of the best and brightest. You hear that voice in the crowd saying, "Get out of here! Get out of here!"
These people are at the wheel, man. We give them the keys and everything, and they just woohoo!
They're driving drunk on that power. Okay, boys and girls, it is time for you to buckle that chin strap. Get your pads on. Get ready. David, it's time to get your 40K Warhammer gear on, because it's time to turn out the lights.
I have the utmost respect for Kurt Warner for going in there. I have the utmost respect for Kurt Warner for going in there.
Wow, man.
Kurt Warner was unconscious like right after impact.
He got blown straight onto the retirement couch, man. Physically blown there. I mean,
unconscious.
Yeah, he was gone, dude. He was gone.
I have the utmost respect for Kurt Warner going in there
but
and getting murdered.
Get fucking destroyed by Bobby McRae. All right, my last word tonight. I've got a few things that are uplifting, both from my area, and I've got a little Christmas gift for you guys. First off, I want to show you some stuff that hopefully is going to be good for our area. 50 Cent says his studio is officially in Shreveport. And we're not talking about his music studio now, guys. He's gotten into television and film production, and he has a place here called what is the name of it? Yeah, it says all roads lead to Shreveport.
Shamalama Ding Dong.
In film and television, G Unit Studios is officially in Louisiana. G Unit. Yeah, a green light gang is what he calls it. Yeah. So we got that coming this year.
Where's that? Where's it located? Do you know where it's at?
I believe it's off of downtown.
It's on Stoner.
Dude, I work on Stoner Avenue. What are you talking about, dude?
Stoner?
Yeah, the house I work at's on Stoner.
That's what's up.
Yeah, dude. How about this? I work at a rehab on Stoner Avenue.
Exactly, dude.
That's a
well
Louisiana
thought out.
thing right there.
That's what's up. Let's put the rehab center on Stoner.
On Stoner Avenue. Okay, and then this one, boys and girls, finally, after years of speculation, what they're doing, they have broken ground and begun work on the new Jimmy Davis Bridge crossing the Red on the south part of town, around the Brookshire's Grocery Arena. That old ass bridge that now this has been talked about for more than a decade in our area. When the first time they were gonna just paint it, and they found out that there's some barn swallow bird that lives underneath it that's an endangered species, so they couldn't do it. And they've been speculating what to do. Now what they're doing is they're building a new bridge right next to it, and then they're either going to nuke that one or turn it into a state park, which is what they're doing with a lot of these old bridges now. So very glad to see this. It's going to help out a lot. I'm sure they're going to make it double laned, because if you guys have ever been in this area, Danny knows, he grew up here. The Jimmy Davis Bridge, and the Texas Street Bridge are the worst ones to cross. At least Texas Street is 4 lanes. You've got 2 lanes. They're narrow, but it's 2 lanes. But yeah, Jimmy Davis, it's single lane bridge. I mean, it's 2 lanes, but you're right next to the oncoming traffic on that one.
Yeah, it's one
no
lane going
barrier.
either direction, and you guys have really developed more in South Bossier, so
Mhm.
the congestion on that old bridge is even worse now than it was when we were kids. So
Yep.
I mean, what are they going to do with the barn swallow? I mean, if they're going to nuke it, they're still going to get rid of the bird anyway. So why?
They're going to have to move it, but at least they'll have time to do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know what they're going to do.
You give me a Crossman, it's a box of pellets. I'll take care of that bird problem, dude. Don't you worry about that.
Little plinking. We got no problems. No problems.
No problems.
Right.
What problems?
Now,
no problems here.
We got no problems here. We got no problems. Okay, guys, I got you a Christmas gift. I got you some stuff from Instagram. I love these fucking memes on Instagram. They crack me up every day, and I picked 4 of them that I think you guys will enjoy. So enjoy your Christmas present. Let's get to it. This first one, I'll read it for you. It says, "Me running from university students after yelling there are only 2 genders." And I've got to turn the music on.
Maybe it won't work at all. Maybe we'll just have dead air.
And you know what? It still ain't going to work at all because I fucked it up. I've got to turn on the sound. Well, dude, we get that echo, so I don't turn the sound on unless I have to. Shush up.
Awesome.
Shut up. This is your boy Rocky, by the way. It's your boy Rocky. Here we go. You ready? Here we go.
I've been ready for 5 minutes.
He says he's running from university students after yelling there are only 2 genders. They want a piece of his ass.
It was at this moment that Garrett knew. He fucked up.
Oh.
It was at this moment that Garrett knew. He fucked up.
One more time for good measure.
Oh.
Garrett knew.
Oh.
That's what I call thinning the herd, boys and girls.
My dude.
Okay?
He missed the tree and ran into the house.
Yeah, he did.
Not very well thought out at all.
Sibling rivalry, no matter what the species.
I'm telling you right now, this dog has about had enough of her. Get your ass out of the way. Give me that goddamn snack.
I'll let you see it one more time.
I love it. That's awesome. That dog's like, don't even play with me.
He almost bit her to start with.
Hell yeah. I don't know your place.
Here's the last one. The Patriots getting their ass kicked by every team in the NFL. Except
No, sir.
the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, sir. Oh, I knocked him cold.
All right, Merry Christmas. That's my present from you.
Steelers, no chance. That's awesome.
Oh, David says gangsta dog. And about the guy that knew he'd fucked up, David Glenn says, give that man the Darwin Award.
Oh my God, that guy.
Thought you guys would get a kick out of those. Okay. Well, boys and girls, we're going to finish this Christmas edition like we always do with that award that my brother likes to give out every week. And we call it the Simple Jack Award.
Simple Jack Award.
You know what's up with the Simple Jack Award. You know it's always given out to that guy or gal or organization or entire
entity.
state sometimes, whatever
Or
the entity may be, country that's trying to do the right thing. They're trying to do the right thing, but they just can't quite get it right. And this week, boys and girls, it's a special Simple Jack Award. We have the Russian Bear edition this week. Dan, I'm gonna read the headline, and then you can explain what's up with the article. Okay, this comes via the Metro. it says Russians celebrate shooting down a jet before realizing it was one of their own.
Whoopsie! So yeah, the headline says it all, man. They surface to air missile, took down a jet, just happy and yeah, man, we did it. Yeah, we got that plane. It turned out to be their own plane they shot down. So yeah, man, know your targets, know what the hell you're doing. Be sure before you let go of those missiles, right? And yeah, don't go full retard on the global scale, man. That's all I have to say about that.
Never go full retard. Never go full retard. Never go full retard. Never go full retard.
Total full retard. Shot down their own plane.
Shot down their own plane with a surface-to-air missile. Good Lord, man. This is crazy. Oh, we're killing David. He can't take it.
Awesome.
He says he's deceased. He's let's see. It was still a good shot, laugh out loud.
It's a great shot. Took that plane right out of the sky. Oh, that wasn't our plane. That was our plane. Oh.
That was our plane. My bad.
I'm going home now. Bye.
Bad.
I wasn't here.
Good Lord.
Crank caller.
Crank caller. I have to go now.
You have to call you back. Oh, that was our plane? Oh, shit.
That is it for the Christmas edition of the Brothers Hack the Matrix. Dan, what are your plans for Christmas? What do you got going on, man?
Relax with family. That's about it, man.
Yeah.
Just relaxing around the house.
Got the grandkids there and everything? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. It's me and Rhonda this year.
That's it, huh?
And yeah, it's just us.
That could be cool though, right? So you guys
yes, absolutely. We're actually gearing up for New Year's Eve because it's on a Sunday this year and I'm off. So we're throwing a New Year's Eve party here at the house. So yeah, that's
cool, man.
Happy. You should see that pergola she's got out back. She's got it decorated better than the house is.
Pergola. You still got the old OU Santa out there, right?
Santa is right out front, bro. You know he is. All right, let me let you guys know what's going on with the channel for the rest of the week. This, of course, as you know, is the Brothers Hack the Matrix. We do this every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. Be sure to tune in if you want to check out the clown show that is 2023 for one more week next week. We'll have our New Year's Eve prediction show next week. We'll be predicting what's up for next year. And I think I'm going to look at last year's show, Dan, and see what we said last year and see if it came true.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to do that next week at 6 p.m. Central Time on Thursday. And then later on tonight, you can watch me, Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. I'm going to play some Senran Kagura. The only way I can explain this, it's an adult game. It is not for children to watch. It's a bunch of it's the best way I can explain it's like playing Dynasty Warriors where you're attacking hundreds of people, but it's you're beating chicks up and their clothes go flying and stuff. It's crazy, man. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to be playing that at 10 p.m. Central Time tonight for a couple of hours right here. So come check it out. Video games, cocktails, and fails. And then tomorrow morning, Friday morning, I'll be on with John, Morning Coffee with John. And he's going to be playing Baldur's Gate again. I'm hoping to get that for Christmas. We're trying to figure out which system I'm going to get it for. But yeah, check us out at 10 a.m. Friday morning on Pop Culture Minefields channel. And then Saturday, you can watch me sketching the pages of The Privateer. I'm actually not sketching right now. It's just the name of the show. I'm actually doing digital inking and coloring on the first issue of The Privateer. So check that out every Saturday at 1:30 p.m. Central Time. And then Sunday, we'll catch you up on everything in the NFL and the upcoming games at 10 a.m. Central Time on Sunday with NFL pregame party. And then Monday, Military Monday, we cover military movies there. Me and Gary were a couple of vets, and we have a couple of people on talk about what we think of these veteran movies. And this one is part of the inspiration for his comic book that's upcoming, Vindicated Inc., and it was made for HBO with Tommy Lee Jones in it back in I want to say it was the 80s this came out. Might have been the 70s even. It's an older movie. It's called The Park Is Mine. It's about a vet that gets tired of what's going on in New York City and takes over Central Park and won't let anything go on in Central Park. So check that out. 10 a.m. Monday morning, me and Gary on Pop Culture Minefields, Military Monday. And then I'm pretty sure that 70s rock fan, you guys say a prayer for him. He's going under the knife. Either he already did or it's definitely tomorrow for sure. He's getting his back worked on. And so, say a prayer for him for a quick recovery. But if you didn't catch our Christmas songs show, go check that out, man. We talked about all our favorite Christmas songs. You see Ronnie James Dio's there. He actually has a Christmas song. And mine was Billy Squire. I brought that one to the table. But we won't be on It's Only Talk and Roll till next year, I think. I'm pretty sure he's going to take the rest of the year off because of his back surgery. But it's usually on at 4 p.m. Central Time on Mondays. And then Tuesday, I start my streaming week with Video Games, Cocktails, and Fails, another edition of Papa Joe Gamer After Dark. And I'm going to be playing Fable 2 this Tuesday, the day after Christmas. So check that out at 10 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday night. And then we're back around to Wednesdays where I start the morning with John on morning coffee with John, Pop Culture Minefields, and he's playing Uncharted on game day. So check that out every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Central Time. And then next Wednesday, it will be the State of the Atmosphere Happy New Year show, bringing in 2024. We're going to have what we're doing for parties. We're going to have top 10s for the year and our New Year's resolutions. Everything pop culture for the upcoming year on State of the Atmosphere, Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. So, for myself, and there can be only one, the Hylunder. And before I get out of here, I want to wish my brother a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll be talking to him.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
On air, I
brother.
gotta acknowledge my bro. So,
Absolutely. And to everybody out there, thanks for joining in. Like and subscribe, and Merry Christmas to you guys.
For sure. Let's see. Sorry, but I'm in love with those eyes. I don't know what he's talking about there. But I appreciate their spunk. Listen to him. That's not a lie. Yep. Okay. So, boys and girls, thanks for being here. And you guys all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we will see you next week for the New Year's Eve episode of State of the Atmosphere. But until then, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.